Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Thank you for joining me and thank you for your continued support. So I've done videos before on access to work, and as we all know, it's not being used as effectively as a lot of people would like it to be used. But there's one particular case which I saw on one of the news channels today, which really is very, very disappointing, especially when you see or when you hear the tragedy that this person's been through, the amount of work this person has done in order to get themselves back to a functioning level, and only to be let down by access to work. So I'm going to be talking about this. I was going to show you a clip of the interview, but this particular news channel, when I've done that before, they have YouTube has very strictly restricted that video. Not many people saw it at all or were able to see it. Now, if they'd have just demonetised it, I wouldn't have worried, because that's not what this channel is about. But I want people to see it, and so if they're not going to show it to people, then that doesn't really make any difference to, it means that people don't get to see it. So I can't show you the actual video itself, but I will leave a link to it in the description to this video, and I will also show you a screenshot so you can see what this person looks like and the situation itself. Okay, so it's Dan Bidiel, and he was sadly involved in the London attack on 7/7. I'm not even sure I can say that word, but it was the London attack on 7/7 where a lot of people lost their lives, sadly. He was severely injured but survived, and had a very long road of recovery to get himself physically and also mentally back to some kind of normality, for whatever normality is. But he has still got complex PTSD. So he was saying in this interview that if he hears sirens, police sirens, ambulance sirens, it triggers flashbacks. It causes him to be basically non-responsive. He goes completely within himself in these flashbacks, and it really does, he has anxiety spikes. It's an awful reaction that he gets. And so what he has done, he runs his own business, and so what he did was he asked for help from Access to Work, and Access to Work initially gave him 40 hours of support. And this means that there's a person with him while he's at work who, if he does suffer one of these flashbacks or gets a serious anxiety attack, this person is there to help him through it so that he's able to then recover and carry on with what he's doing, which I think is a vital service, for someone who is trying their best to do what they can. However, he's just been told that his 40 levels of support have now been cut to just 13 hours of support. Now, as he said himself, this is no more than 2 days' work, and it means that there are certain projects that he's taken on that he wouldn't be able to take on again because he wouldn't have the support person there to help him. And this is just absolutely awful. And he said that the application process takes about 100 days, and you only get one chance. If they say no, that's it. And so what they've done effectively is they've cut his funding, cut his support drastically, and there's no real understanding of why they've done it. His condition hasn't changed. He said himself his PTSD will not improve. He will continue to be triggered by things that trigger him, and that cutting his support is actually not going to help him at all. It's going to make things worse. And he said himself, he said, you hear the government talking about if disabled people want to work, they should work. And he said there are disabled people out there who want to work, but then they have the Access to Work scheme, cuts their funding, cuts their support. He said, so really the government are gaslighting disabled people by saying that they're going to support them into work, but then once they get there, or once they try to do it, the support isn't there to help them. And I think this is, for me, it shows more than anything else that the government aren't really thinking about disabled people getting back to work. I've got another channel which I talk about various other political things and things in the news, and I've just done a video on there about the number of people who are now unemployed has risen since Labour took power. There's more people out of work now than ever before, more people claiming out of work benefits than ever before, and this is because the jobs aren't there. You know, there are no jobs for people to go to, and if they do go to get a job, the government aren't going to support them. Anyway, so that's it in a nutshell. I will leave a link to the video in the description below. It really is awful the way that they're doing this. It just goes to show this is all about money. It's not about getting people to work, it's about saving money. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please do subscribe if you want to push this channel forward for me. And I'll see you next time.